Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Priyabrata and today I'll show you how to create EC2 instance in a Windows machine in AWS. So as I discussed in my previous lecture, what is instances and basic concepts of AWS, then purchasing option of EC2 instance, then services in a cloud. So hope you all understand the my first lecture on basic of AWS. If you have any doubt, you can comment me in the section. And also don't forget to like and subscribe my channel. And also share with your friends and colleagues who want to learn AWS. So today I'll show you how to create EC2 instance in AWS. So let's get started. So here we need to open this sign in page of AWS. Then you can see there are two options in sign in page, that is root user and IAM user. Root user means which we have created an account, that is called root user. Let's suppose I have created an free tier account, then I will be the owner of that account. In my last lecture I showed you how to create free tier account in AWS. So you have created that account, that is called root user. So you have unrestricted access. Whatever you want to do, you can create it. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. You don't have any restriction access, or you can do any task also in the root user. That means you are the account owner. And IAM user means that is identity access management user, which have restricted access. Suppose we have different teams in our organization: finance team, sales team, corporate team, and help desk team, the network team. These all have different teams in our organization. So we have to give them a permission as per their roles and responsibility. Finance team, suppose finance team use some application. So we will give the access or provide the access to that application or to that EC2 instance and to that application what they are using, so that they cannot access for the server or for the application of the sales team or help desk team for other team. They can access only that finance team's application and server. That is called identity access management user. So now I will log in to my account. So here I need to enter the password. Then I'll click on sign in. So this is my Amazon machine, Amazon Management Console, AWS Management Console. So this is my account name, my name Priyabrata. This is my account number. This is the region availability zone. This is the availability zone region, that is US East Ohio. You can select North Virginia as well. And for to ticket, raise a ticket, or if you have any problem in AWS Management Console or anything, then you can raise a ticket by clicking on support and support center. Here you will get a notification, whatever you will get a notification over here. And here if you click on this services, you will get so many services of AWS, that is compute services, developer services, machine learning services, container, storage, database, migration, then network. All these services are available in the services tab. So I'll go for EC2 because I need to create EC2 instance now. So this is the dashboard of EC2 instance. Here you can see no instances are running, no instances are available, key pair also 0, snapshot 0, volume 0, security group. Security group will be by default whenever you create an account, you will be having by default security group, by default VPC, by default subnet. These three things you will be having by default for availability zone. For any app the account, you will be having these three by default. Whether it may be a security group, then VPC, that is virtual private cloud, and subnet. Okay, so I'll click on launch instance over here. Then see, I told you in my last lecture, previous lecture, that is AMI, Amazon Machine Image. So here is the software configuration. It has the details of software configuration like Amazon. So I'll go for Windows Server 2012 R2, which is free tier eligible. So this is free tier eligible. So this has the AMI ID, which contain the software configuration details. So root device will be EBS, that is elastic block storage. I told you in my last lecture what is EBS. So you already know what is elastic block storage. That is block level storage volume, and it stores the data permanently if you stop or reboot the instances as well. That is called EBS. Virtualization type, it will be a hypervisor, that is virtualization. ENA is the network access, that is enable. So I'll click on select, that is 64-bit. So here I already told you that instance type, there are so many instance families are there: T2, T3, T families, D families, C families, and D families, G families, H family, I families, R, Z, so many are there. Okay, so depend upon our configuration, we need to select the family and you type of instances. Suppose we required for Mac, then we will go for other instances. For Linux also they are having other family type. There are so many family type in the EC2 instance under instance type. That is T family, D family, C family. There are so many families are there in the instance type under AWS EC2 instance. So as per your requirement, you can select whatever your requirement. Here you can see the type under T2 micro is the free tier eligible. CPU will be 1, memory will be on, that will be instance storage will be EBS only. Here you can see the network performance low to moderate. These all are low to moderate. If you want to go for higher configuration, see this is have one CPU but 2 GB RAM. If you scroll down, you can see the configuration. These 8 CPUs are there, 32 GB RAM, and see here the network will be up to 5 gigabyte, 5 GB. IPv6 is also available. So depend upon your requirement, you need to select whatever is your requirement. So now I'll go for T2 micro because it is free tier eligible. So hope you understand this point. See, this is the families of instances. Okay. Here if you select T2, then see the T2 micro have one CPU, 2.2 gigahertz processor, 1 GB RAM, NEVS volume. This is the things you can see. If you want to see more columns, then you need to just click on more column. You can select clock speed also, it will show clock speed. And then if you want to select processor architecture also, it will show processor architecture here. See here you can see the processor architecture. So whatever you want, you can just select the height, show and height columns. You will get all the details. So in the interview, they may ask you the types of EC2 instances. As I told you in my previous lecture, there are 6 types of instances. So you can go through it. In the interview, they may ask you also. And also they may ask you in the interview that they may ask you how you will choose the right EC2 instance type while configuring or while launching an instances. Okay, so in that you need to give the answer that it depends upon what kinds of application we want to host on EC2 instance. So if they ask you how to choose the right AMI or right instance type for creation of EC2 instances, then we need to give the answer that it depends upon what kinds of application we want to host on EC2 instance. Because AWS have multiple categories of instances, so we can depend upon our requirement. We can depend upon our requirement. We need to select whatever is our requirement. So you need to give the answer like this. They may ask you in the interviewer. Don't need to worry about that. So you need to click on next, configure instance details. So here, one second. So hope you got this point. Okay. Now you need to click on configure instance details. Here you can see the configure instance details. Number of instance it is showing as 1. I can create 4 or 3, whatever we required we can create it. How much we can create at a same time. If you want to create 4, then you can just click on type 4 and you need 4 instances will get created at the same time. Purchasing option, it is showing as a spot instance. So always remember, for purchasing option while creating an EC2 instances or any other VPC anything, they will select by default as on-demand instances. For testing purpose, for lab, or for any organization, or for any testing purpose, or for any database or any application purpose, we use on-demand instance. It is a by default they will select. It will get selected. It will not show any option to select on-demand instance or spot instance or reserved instance. It will automatically select by default as a on-demand instance. So if you want to go for spot instance, so I'll select this spot instance. You can see the current price for 2A US is 2A. It's $0.0081. Suppose if it goes above this price, that current price, if it goes above the current price, then it will get the EC2 instance will get terminated. This is called spot instance. I've discussed in my previous lecture on purchasing option of EC2 instance in AWS. That topic you can go through that. Okay. Next is network. That is virtual private cloud. As I told you, well, whenever we create an account, whether it may be a free tier or any other account, you will be having one VPC and 3 subnet. Why 3 subnet? Because I am on the Ohio region. If I go for the North Virginia region, then it will be having a 6 subnet. So I'll discuss about VPC in my upcoming lecture. I'll tell you how to create VPC, which we have. If you want to have your personal VPC, then how to create it, I'll show you in my last lecture, in my upcoming lecture. So that is network VPC, how to create VPC. So I'll go for default because I don't have any VPC created. Subnet, you need to select no preference, default subnet in any availability zone. I'm not selecting any subnet. Let me take the by default one. See, auto assigned public IP. It is all by default. It is selected as use subnet setting enable. That means it is a public IP. It will select. It will generate public IP. That's why it has mentioned as use subnet setting. So if I go for disable, then it will take as a private IP. So that is I'll go for public IP. It will automatically assign public IP because I have selected use subnet setting. If I go for disable, then it will select, it will assign, or it will allocate private IP. So I'll go for public IP. So in the interview they may ask you that if we have one server which has public subnet, okay, but I need the IP as a private. How to get that? In the interview, they may ask you this question. So answer will be, we need to select disable option under auto assign public IP while creating an instances. So this is the answer you can give this answer, like while creating an instances, we need to select auto assign IP as disabled so that it will generate or it will allocate private IP. That is the answer of this question. So placement group I'll be leaving as it is, placement group. Capacity reservation also I'm clicking, I'm just selecting as open because it has a specific availability zone. You can launch instance into capacity reservation if they have this matching attributes. So that's why for capacity reservation, in the sense, if you want to use this for reserved purpose, then you can use it. Join directory, it has their own directory. So suppose hope you aware about that. Whenever we log into our system or laptop in my organization, it has their own domain. So we need to join that laptop or the desktop into our domain, into our organization domain. Then only they can access the single sign-in. So here also the same thing, domain join directory. Here also if we create a new directory, that means if we create a new domain, here the directory means domain. So if we create a new directory, then you can select as it is, whatever the directory we have created, then we can select it. But again, it must be compatible with AWS Manager Agent, System Manager Agent. Then only it will be created. So I'll leave as it is, blank as it is. IAM role is nothing because I have not created any IAM role. Shutdown behavior is I have stopped. So if we shut down the system or instances, it will stop the instances. It will not work. I can select as terminated also. So if we shut down that instances, it will get terminated automatically. But if we shut down the instances, it will stop the instances. It will not terminate. Stop hibernate behavior. If we enable this behavior, if we enable this hibernate option, that means suppose I am in this window and I am feeling sleepy. So I'll put the lock window L and I'll sleep. But tomorrow morning when we wake up, and on that time I'll be in this window only. It will not get shut down or it will not get restarted. So if we enable that, that means it will not get restart or shut down. If we lock the window, if we close the window, or if we sign out also, then also it will not stop the instances. Enable termination protection. If we enable this protect against accidental termination, then if we enable this, it will not terminate. It will not terminate the EC2 instances. Whenever we click on terminate option, whenever we click on terminate option, it will not get terminated. They will give an error that please disable this termination protection. Once you disable that termination protection, then only we can terminate the instances. So this is a great option also. You cannot delete, or you can terminate the instances. So I'll just select, I'll not select this, I'll not enable this. Monitoring, if we enable this CloudWatch, so it will give the monitoring details, that how much CPU utilization is happening, how much network utilization is happening, how much memory utilization is happening. It will show in the graphical representation. So I'll not go for it because it is a chargeable basis. So I'll keep it as blank. So remaining, I'll click on add storage. So here you can see one root volume is there, which is called as 30 GB. Okay, you can change it as 30 GB, you can change it as 8 GB, 420 GB, how much you can't, how much you want, you can add it. Volume type will be SSD, general purpose instances, which is low cost. Okay, if you want to create a new volume, then you can create a new volume in this. And also delete on termination, if you click on this, if you uncheck this, then it will not delete, the drive will not delete if we terminate the instances, and bill will get generated. So I'll click on, I'll enable this delete on termination. Here also I'll delete on termination. If you want to encrypt, you can encrypt it. So I'll not go for encryption. So here you can see EBS, that is EBS volume. It will take by default, because I told you when we select AMI, that time I showed you the volume type will be EBS. Okay, so this is called EBS, elastic volume, elastic block storage. Root volume is, you can say, as C drive, and EBS it will be a D drive volume. So here I can select whether magnetic, or we can select general purpose SSD, which is free tier eligible. Okay, so I'll not go for, okay, I'll go for next add tag. I'll click on here, I'll type the name here, then I'll type first instance EC2 instances. So why we create a tag? Because it will be a identify, you can identify that for what purpose we have created these instances, for what purpose we have created these instances, who have created these instances, we can identify easily. So you can add other tags also. Suppose I'll go for finance, Finacle, this is the application name. Okay, so this is the thing, this is the most important point also, why we create tags. So for creation of tag we can create, because to identify that who have created this tag, and for what purpose this tag has been created. For that purpose we will add a tag. So I'll go for only first tag, I'll not add any other tag. I'll just click on configure security group. Here the security group we create because other cannot access this EC2 instances. So while creating a security group, we need to download that key pair. I'll show you in next page. So I'll create a new security group. I'll give the name first EC2 instances. Okay, here description will be the date, everything will be there when we have created this instance. Okay, RDP, if we want to select, if we select TCP or HTTPS, then it will not be accessible. So I'll go for RDP. I'll select from anywhere so that we can access, I can access it through anywhere. Here you can add also roles. If you want to access through HTTP, HTTPS, whatever you want to access, you can access it. But I'll not go for this. I'll select only RDP. So in the interview, they may ask you what is security group. You need to tell them that it is a set of firewall rules that control the traffic of our instances. that is called security group. Or else you can tell them to it add rules to allow specific traffic to reach our instances. So security group will act as a firewall to control the traffic. That's why we have security group in AWS. Suppose we are in the client machine or in the server, physical server or in the physical client machine, we will be having one firewall. If you turn off that, if you turn on that firewall, that it will block the inbound, incoming and outgoing traffic. So that's why in the AWS also the same thing, it acts as a firewall. Security group acts as a firewall that will control the traffic of our EC2 instances. So I'll click on review and launch. Then I'll click on, so you can see all the details over here. I'll click on launch. So here you need to select the key pair. I'll go for new key pair. The key pair you need to download it so that you can access the EC2 instances. So without key pair we cannot access the EC2 instance using RDP. So here I'll mention first EC2 instances and I'll download the key pair. Through that key pair only we can access the EC2 instances. So without that key pair we cannot access EC2 instances using RDP. In the interview they may ask you that whether if we lost the key pair, then can we access EC2 instances? So the answer will be no, because we cannot access without any key pair. If we have taken any backup of that EC2 instances, then we can log in, but again key pair is required. So without key pair we cannot access any instances using RDP. So I'll click on launch instance. So it is creating our instances now. So see, your instances are now launching. I'll click on view instances, sorry. See here you can see it is instance status is showing as pending. So I'll click on refresh. It is still showing as a pending, so we need to wait for some time. I'll refresh once again. See, it is in running status, but see the status check is, it is showing as initializing. That means it is still checking the hardware and network configuration and other. Okay, I'll show you 1 second. See, it is showing still status is initializing, but server is in running status. I'll show you one by one. Here you can see the details of these EC2 instances, whatever we have created: public IP, private IP, public DNS, private DNS, instances type, elastic IP address which you have not selected, IAM role also I have not selected. There is a VPC ID, subnet ID. All the details you can see over here. So now I'll show you for security. We have created one security group, that is my first EC2 instances. Now networking, I'll show you the details, that is public IP, private IP, VPC ID, subnet ID, all the details you will be getting under network. Storage we have selected as root devices and one is EBS, both as attached. Status check, I'll show you the status check. What is the meaning of status check? Here you can see the two status check: system status check and instance status check. System status check is nothing but it will check the hardware components of the EC2 instances, and instance status check will check the network components. So these are the two different things. So in the interview they may ask you how many types of status checks are there and what is the work of the status check. we have two status check is there. One is system checkup, system status check, and instance status check. System status check will check the hardware components, and instance status check will check the network component. So if we click on, I will refresh this. So now you can see it is showing 2 by 2 check passed. That means hardware, there is no any issue with the hardware components, and also there is no issue with the network instances components. Instance reachability check passed. That means instance network is reachable and system is also reachable. So next is I'll show you the tag. Here you can see the tag whatever we have created now. Monitoring, it will show you the monitoring details, that CPU utilization now. See here you can see it is showing a CPU utilization, status check failed, status check failed, status check failed, network, network out, network in, network packets in out, everything, every details we will get here. We have not selected a CloudWatch to see to monitor the EC2 instances utilization, but still they have showed here the details. It will by default it will show the details. Okay, now what we will do is we will click on connect. To launch an instance we need to click on connect, then we need to click on RDP client. Now we need to download the desktop remote desktop file. To generate the password to access that RDP, we need to get the password. So I'll click on get password, I'll click on browse. We have created one key pair, that is first EC2 instance. I'll select that and I'll click on open. Now I'll click on decrypt password. So my password has been decrypted. So this is the password. I'll just copy it and I launch this RDP now. I'll click on connect. Then I'll enter the password. I'll click on OK. So this is my first EC2 instances which we have created. So it is still loading now. It is still loading now. I'll show you one thing. We'll wait for some time. So this is my server, Windows Server 2012 R2, which we have created. I'll refresh this page. In the left right hand side corner, we'll get all the details about these EC2 instances which we have created. See, the host name is this one, instance ID is this one, public IP is this, private IP is this, availability zone US is 2B, instance type is 2T2 micro, architecture is AMD64. So how we are using a physical server, same also here we can also access it, or you can work on this also, same as we work for physical server. Here is the server manager. If you want to add roles and features, you need to click on this, and whatever you want to add the roles or features, you can add it. So this is how we need to create EC2 instances. And I'll go to instance, I'll go to dashboard. See here you can see, I'll refresh this. See here, one instance is running, one instance is there, two security group, because we have one by default and we have created one more security group. Volume is 2, there are 2 volumes. I'll show you in this PC option. I'll click on this. See here you can see 2 drives are there, 2 volumes are there, one is C drive and one is D drive. So here 2 volumes are there. So this is the basic details, and this is the dashboard of EC2 instances. I'll select this and I'll click on monitor and troubleshoot. I'll click on get instance screenshot. Also you see that this is the page of this EC2 instances. That means it is working fine. Okay, suppose if we not able to access EC2 instances, then we can get to know what is the error message, why we are not able to access the EC2 instances. So we need to go to instances, the instance which is not running. I will select this, we'll click on action, monitor and troubleshoot, and get instance screenshot. So we will get this screenshot means it is accessible. If we get any error message in this, suppose any blue dump or any SAP laptop crashed or any EC2 instance crashes, then we will get the error message over here. So if we get this any error message like any blue dump or any laptop crash, sorry, EC2 instance get crashed or any blue dump issues, then what we need to do is we need to go to instance. This server is not working, right? So we need to click on instance type, instance state. We'll click on stop instance. We need to click on stop instance. Here you will get one more option called force stop instance. That means it will forcefully stop the instances. So once you stop that instances, again we need to refresh it, and then we need to click on start instance. Once you click on start instance, you will be able to see. Then after that you need to refresh this and this, then again you need to click on action, monitor and troubleshoot, get instance screenshot. Here you will get this option. So you need to just restart. We need to just restart, stop the instances and start the instances. It will work. If it not work, if it still not work, then you need to see what is the if you need to see in the instance type what you have selected. We have selected this as RDP. Okay, but sometime what happen, we may select this as HTTPS. So if we select HTTPS or HTTP, then we cannot access this server. So this is how you need to check whether EC2 instance has been created properly or not. If it is still created properly, but then also it blue dump occurs or any other error occurred, then first you need to stop the instances, then you need to start the instances, and then refresh the page, and just you need to click on action and monitor and troubleshoot and get instance screenshot. If it's still not able to access that EC2 instance, then you need to go to support, and support center you need to raise a ticket with AWS team. So they will help you out through email or any on call. So this is how EC2 instance, this is how we need to create EC2 instances. So hope you all understand this, how to create EC2 instances. If you have any doubt, you can comment me in the section. I'll help you out. And also don't forget to like and subscribe my channel, and also share with your friends and colleagues who want to learn AWS. And also I have discussed on how to create EC2 instances, and also discussed some of the interview questions. So just make a note of it so that it will be a great helpful for you in the interview, while attending an interview. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Have a good day.